Hey folks, this is Kalani. One of the largest pieces of new content coming in patch 9.1 is the Cypher of the First One system, but instead of being a new source of significant player power, it's being described as something more optional that you can ignore with no sacrifice to your character's general performance. Well, the Cypher was just enabled on the PTR for testing, so let's take a closer look at exactly how it works, what kind of rewards are on offer, and whether or not the system is actually optional content in patch 9.2. Let's start with how you first unlock the system. The Cypher of the First One is introduced as part of the new 9.2 campaign in Chapter 3. So if you want to work your way through the story, you will have to unlock the Cypher to complete Chapter 3. In that sense, you don't really have any choice whatsoever. Everyone will start exploring this system, but you can choose how far you want to go with it. So let's go through the various talents or traits available in this list to see what kinds of unlocks you can work towards and who is going to want to unlock them. The first point is Material Understanding that everyone has to unlock, and that just basically allows you to actually read the rest of this Cypher console, as well as some other First One's language out in the zone. In that column, 1 point down, you can learn Echiel. This lets you tell Pocopoc to look for Echo Giro, and Pocopoc can interact with those NPCs. This can give you increased movement speed, improved resources when gathering, or reduce enemy detection range. The next trait is Cachiel. You can interact with the caches of creation puzzles, and Pocopoc can find nearby caches as well. Decrypting these caches can get you Cyphers of the First One currency, so another way to earn this zone's special currency. There's also Coriel. Pocopoc can find Coreless Automa, and Pocopoc can temporarily take control of wildlife to help you in combat. And the last point here is Visual, which allows you to customize the appearance of Pocopoc, the true endgame of Zereth Mortis. The next column starts with Aeolic Understanding, where you can gain access to enhancement consoles. These consoles provide you with a choice of buffs, kind of like Anima Orbs in Torghast, and those buffs last for 15 minutes. The next point in that column is Simlic. This allows you to have 3 enhancements active at the same time instead of just 1. The trait below that is Enlic. Enhancement consoles cost less energy to use. They start at 6 energy, and there's 3 points in this talent choice, so I guess it can go as low as 3 energy. The energy used here is Pocopoc energy. You gather this by just playing through the zone with Pocopoc. It seems to replenish quite quickly. Next up is Tillich. Enhancements last for an additional 15 minutes. Again, there are 3 points here, so maybe this can go up to 45 additional minutes for 1 hour total. 1 trait down, we can learn Elic. Enhancement consoles now generate their enhancements in crystallized format, which may be consumed to gain the effect or added to an item that has a crystal socket. When placed in a crystal socket, an enhancement functions in all Shadowlands outdoor areas, so you can take these bonuses, slap them in a special outdoor 9.2 gear, and use these bonuses all over Shadowlands. That's pretty cool. And then the last point in this column is Altonian Understanding. Gain the ability to communicate, interact, and quest with Giro throughout the Zereth Mortis zone. The next column starts with the Aeolic Understanding. This trait lets Pocopoc take control of wildlife to assist you. It lets Pocopoc interact with Echo Giro in the southwest region of the zone. You gain a deeper understanding of the concordances. Those are the lore-specific items in the zone, so when you unlock this you can read more of the lore text. And then you also gain access to the Protoform Synthesis Forge, which lets you create pets and mounts. We'll talk more about that in a future video when we can actually test it. Creatine allows you to get some of the same bonuses from Echo Giro as an earlier talent and lets you interact with Echo Giro in a different region. This one might be placeholder for now though, seeing as it overlaps quite a bit. Destrian increases the damage and health for Resonant Automa. This might be related to the wildlife you can control or let you control Automa and boost their overall power level. Alien lets Pocopoc control Resonant Automa for longer, so I guess that's something he can already do, and reduces the cooldown of their abilities. Enrian increases the rate that Pocopoc gains his energy by a significant amount. And the last point here is Sopranian Understanding, which lets you communicate, interact, and quest with Automa in the Arrangement Index and Endless Sands, so more questing hubs to unlock no doubt. You can also gain access to the Protoform Synthesis Forge that allows you to create large creatures, so this point actually might be required if you want to make mounts instead of pets. The very last column starts with Tribalum Understanding. Pocopoc gains the ability to take on additional combat roles to help you while in Zereth Mortis. When in one of these roles, you gain access to a new ability, and you gain an even deeper understanding of concordances, which lets you read the entire lore text. So you can turn Pocopoc into a bodyguard, which will be very useful for solo players. Deathlimb gives Pocopoc a damage roll and gives it a damage over time component to some of its abilities. Supplimb gives Pocopoc a support roll and gives it a healing shield to help keep you alive a bit longer. Maxlimb increases Pocopoc's maximum available energy so you can store more for your various needs. And the very last point in the system right now is Basilimb. This gives Pocopoc the ability to turn a Cawless Guardian into a Resonant Guardian. You and up to 2 friends can use the Guardian vehicle to cause havoc in Zereth Mortis for 3 minutes. Also reduces the cooldown of its abilities. That sounds like a lot of fun, especially if that vehicle lets you actually cause havoc. If it's a little tank thing that does no damage, it's going to be boring as all heck. So hopefully this talent can let you clear out world quests or daily quests or whatever you need to do very quickly, so you can literally blast through everything. You probably noticed 2 things about all of these unlocks. They all cost a new currency and they all take a chunk of time to research. The time is fairly self-explanatory. I don't know of any way to speed up any of this research just yet, so those time restrictions are what we're working with at the moment. You can actually research multiple points at the same time, but you can only research 1 from each column. To unlock a new column, you need to research the very top point, and to research those, you need to have unlocked the previous column's top point. So initially you have to work your way from left to right, but after you've unlocked each column, you can research points in all 4 columns simultaneously, which is definitely nice, but it's not quite as open as we first believed. The other requirement is the new currency, the ciphers of the first ones. Getting your hands on this currency is actually incredibly easy and straightforward. One of the most reliable sources of ciphers is world quests. There will always be 1 world quest active that rewards 50 ciphers of the first ones, which is a good chunk towards any of these research requirements. With the various research times in place, you could fuel the vast majority of this system's currency requirements by just doing that 1 world quest every day or whenever it's available, but there are some other sources as well. There are plenty of treasures scattered throughout the zone that have ciphers in them, about 10 per chest it looks like. There are other chests you can unlock via talents in the cipher system itself, and there are puzzles you can find and unlock too, so plenty of little sources scattered around the zone. Rares also drop ciphers when you kill them, so you want to be on the lookout for any and all rares you come across to get some more ciphers and hopefully some shiny loot. On top of all of the different traits and talents you can unlock, the Cypher of the First One's console will be how you earn the ability to fly in the new Zereth Mortis zone. To get the achievement required for flying, you need to unlock all 4 of the top traits in the system, so basically just unlock all 4 columns of upgrades and you also get the flying achievement at the same time. There is another reward that this system unlocks though. You can see up at the top left there is a tracker for your Cypher equipment level. If you hover over that trait, it tells us we need to spend a specific amount more of the Cypher currency to unlock the next level. This Cypher equipment rank looks like it'll be exactly like the Korthia gear upgrade ranks, except instead of upgrading individual pieces of gear, you upgrade your overall equipment rank by spending more ciphers on more unlocks in this system. The equipment level should then auto level up any Cypher equipment you have from patch 9.2, and this should also apply to any new equipment you get. So imagine only having to unlock a Korthia gear upgrade once, and when you've done that, every piece of gear you get is that same rank. When you max out at rank 6, all of your gear auto levels up to that rank 6 level, and any new gear you get will be rank 6 as well. That could be very interesting and kind of crazy. We'll have to wait and see how this works when we finally get to test it. That should make gearing up for patch 9.2 a lot easier for outdoor world players, and incredibly convenient at the same time. It's also a very powerful reward for anyone who doesn't do the typical content that facilitates gearing up, like PvP, Mythic Plus dungeons, or raids. So, in this one system, we have zone exploration, NPC and quest hub unlocks, which will lead to more storylines no doubt. There's a bodyguard system by turning Pocopoc into whatever role you want them to be, with some added bonuses of being able to control wildlife and other automa creatures and creations for even more bodyguards to protect you throughout the zone. There are zone-specific buffs you can unlock, as well as the ability to take those buffs into other Shadowland zones and permanently wear them in this new crystal socket gear. There's potentially a gearing up system tied to the unlocks with the Cypher equipment. Flying in Zereth Mortis is also locked behind the progress in the Cypher, and there are a lot of pets and mounts to collect from the Protoform Synthesis Forge as well. But that does mean no significant player power is tied to this system, at least when it comes to player power that carries over into raids, dungeons, or PvP. You can power up yourself for the outdoor content in the Zereth Mortis zone, but nothing for instanced group content. In that sense, you can completely ignore this feature without it having any impact on your PvE or PvP performance, but you would be missing out on a significant chunk of the content in 9.2 and lots of customization or collecting opportunities. I think right now the system has enough in place to be enticing and worth engaging with, and I like that it does that without putting pressure on players needing to unlock everything on every character they want to stay current with. It's optional, there are some cool rewards to work towards, there are some potentially incredibly fun features to unlock, and you can do it all at your own pace. Personally, I think I'm going to really enjoy tinkering around with the system in 9.2. But that's everything we know so far about the Cypher of the First One system coming in patch 9.2. What do you think from what you've seen so far? Which talents, traits, or areas of the Cypher interest you the most? And how much do you think you will engage with this feature? Are there enough rewards to pique your interest, or is player power the only thing you care about? Do you have any leftover questions about how any part of this system works? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to everyone who subscribed on Twitch. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.